Ghana and Togo, two nations nestled in West Africa, share a profound history that transcends mere politics, weaving through the very fabric of individual lives within their borders. Among the people tethered to this intertwined narrative are the Ewe, known as a Vao in their own tongue, or simply as Ewe by others. In the era before colonialism, Eweland stood as a unified entity. Referred to as Togo in the Ewe language, the territory derived its name from the fusion of To, signifying river, and Go, a shortened version of Godo, meaning other side. Hence, Togo symbolized the other side of the river, encompassing the stretch between the Mono River to the east, demarcating the present-day boundaries of Togo and Benin, and the Volta River to the west, encompassing what is now recognized as the Volta region of Ghana. The nomenclature of the land itself, Togo, bears Ewe origins. Originally transcribed as Togo before the European colonizers, it became known as Togoland during the European scramble for Africa. In 1884, Togoland fell under the protective wing of Germany, stretching northward to encompass territories inhabited by various ethnic groups such as the Dagomba, Kabre, Kotokoli, and Mamprusi, with the Ewe constituting the largest populace and lending their name to the territory. However, certain regions of Eweland, notably the states of Anglon and Peki, had already fallen under British administration. With the advent of German presence, boundary agreements were brokered between Germany and Britain, fracturing Ewenigba into two. Areas such as Anglon, Tong, and Peki came under British rule as part of the Gold Coast Protectorate, while the remaining expanse of Eweland became part of the German Protectorate of Togoland. The tide turned with the outbreak of the First World War, leading to Germany's forfeiture of control over Togoland in 1919.
For the German people,
the territory was subsequently parceled out to Britain and France, dividing Togoland into eastern and western halves. The French-administered eastern segment adopted the moniker Togo, while the British-controlled western portion was christened Trans-volta Togoland. This geopolitical restructuring splintered the Ewe country into three distinct fragments. Some Ewe found themselves integrated into the Gold Coast, others into British Togoland or Trans-volta Togoland, while the remainder resided within French Togoland or Togo. These geopolitical upheavals exacted a heavy toll on the Ewe people, precipitating widespread challenges and discontent across Ewenigba. Many Ewe were compelled to learn a third European language, adding to the linguistic burden alongside German and English. Moreover, those residing along the newly drawn border between British Togoland and French Togoland grappled with the artificial partitioning of their ancestral homeland, grappling with the stark realities of division imposed from without. In the wake of colonial partitioning that fragmented Eweland into disparate territories, the Ewe people embarked on a relentless campaign for reunification, seeking to mend the ruptured bonds of their ancestral homeland. On both sides of the divide, fervent petitions were dispatched imploring the international community to heed their plea for unity. Yet, their appeals to the Permanent Mandates Commission and the League of Nations met with resounding indifference. The outbreak of World War II, initially kindling hopes of a transformative shift in the Ebe plight amidst the geopolitical upheaval, instead compounded their predicament. As tensions between European powers escalated, the rift between British and French authorities only deepened, further marginalizing the aspirations of the Ebe populace. Undeterred by mounting obstacles, Ebe leaders persisted in their appeals, epitomized by the petition penned by the paramount chief of the Peki traditional area to Governor Burns, colloquially known as Barnes, on December 10, 1940, articulating the unified yearning of all Ebe for reunification. Subsequent entreaties from Anglon, Asogli, and other Ebe enclaves echoed this impassioned plea to no avail. Amidst the tumult of political strife and colonial subjugation, the Ebe people forged resilient alliances and grassroots movements, galvanized by a shared determination to reclaim their cultural heritage and territorial integrity. The Ebe Presbyterian Church emerged as a pivotal bastion of unity, its indigenous leadership rooted in the legacy of the Bremen missionaries of Germany, nurturing a sense of solidarity and empowerment among the Ebe faithful. By the mid-1950s, as the tide of decolonization swept across Africa, the Ebe agitation for reunification intensified, mirroring the fervor of nationalist movements across the continent. Spearheading this quest for Ebe unity was the Comité de l'Unité Togolaise, CUT, founded in 1941 under the leadership of Silvanus Epifanio Olympio, a visionary statesman who would later ascend to the helm as Prime Minister and the inaugural President of Togo. Yet the quest for reunification was not merely a political struggle. It was a battle for livelihoods and identity. For Ebe farmers and entrepreneurs whose lands and enterprises were arbitrarily cleaved across new borders, the specter of displacement loomed large. In French Togoland, governance posed distinct challenges, with appointed educated elites supplanting traditional chiefs and snaring the populace in a web of colonial domination. The final chapters of their journey towards independence unfolded against the backdrop of political intrigue and nationalist fervor, shaping the destinies of two nations and leaving a legacy of unresolved aspirations. In the Gold Coast, the countdown to independence gathered momentum as the fate of British Togoland hung in the balance. A pivotal plebiscite held on May 9, 1956, offered the inhabitants of British Togoland a choice: merge with the soon-to-be independent Gold Coast or retain UN trusteeship. Despite dissent among the southern populace, the majority voted in favor of unity, paving the way for the birth of the Volta region of Ghana on March 6, 1957, under the leadership of President Kwame Nkrumah. Meanwhile, in French Togoland, agitation for independence surged forward, culminating in a landmark plebiscite that signaled the end of trusteeship. Nicolas Grunitzky assumed the mantle of Prime Minister of the Autonomous Republic of Togo on September 10, 1956, ushering in a new era of self-governance. However, simmering discontent and calls for change persisted, leading to Silvanus Olympius' historic electoral victory in 1958 and subsequent ascension to the presidency upon Togo's independence from France on April 27, 1960. Yet the euphoria of independence belied the simmering tensions and unresolved grievances that lingered beneath the surface. The divergent visions of Nkrumah and Olympia regarding the fate of Eweland underscored the complexities of post-colonial nation building. While Nkrumah advocated for a united Africa and envisioned the incorporation of all of Togo into Ghana, Olympio sought to consolidate trans-volta Togoland with Togo, reflecting divergent visions of national identity and sovereignty. In the aftermath of independence, sections of the Ebe populace in Ghana revived calls for self-determination, advocating for the establishment of an independent entity known as Western Togoland. However, these aspirations were met with limited success and faded into obscurity amidst the broader currents of political consolidation and state building. As we reflect on the tumultuous journey of the Ebe people towards independence, lingering questions remain unanswered. Why did the colonial powers neglect to address the grievances of the Ebe people and other marginalized communities, perpetuating divisions and discontentment? Why were discriminatory practices evident in the resolution of territorial disputes, favoring certain ethnic groups over others? The words of Governor Hugh Clifford, echoing from the annals of history, serve as a poignant reminder of the enduring struggles and aspirations of the Ebe people. It should be noted for future reference that any attempt once more to divide the Dagomba country in a manner which is opposed to the ethnological distribution of the native population will be keenly resented by the chiefs and people both in the northern territories of the Gold Coast and in the Sansani Mangu districts of Togoland. The foregoing remark applies with equal force to the feelings of the natives in the Peki and Misahohe districts and to the Auna or Angola population of the Keta and Lomeland districts. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Ebe people's history. Subscribe for more documentaries, like if you enjoyed this one, and share with friends to spread the knowledge. Let's keep exploring together.